Some people might not like museums, but sometimes you're forced to visit them and make the most of the situation. Luckily, there are some Snapchat people out there who can really make us laugh out loud. Wait until you see the most relatable dinosaur Snapchat ever. If you're new here, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Now get ready to giggle as we look at 20 Snapchat captions that make art fun again. Contour. Let's start with some of our absolute favorite captions ever. If you love to contour your face and enhance your facial features, you know that this caption is absolutely relatable and describes perfectly what we might feel like before we contour. This might just be an art piece, but it sometimes definitely applies to real-life situations. Do you even have a face before you contour? According to this Snapchat, you don't, and it's absolutely hilarious because it's true. All we'd like to see now is an after contour example of an artistic painting. We love contemporary art, but that's not the only Snapchat caption that made us giggle. Correcting grammar. Everyone's grammar was corrected on the internet at some point, including ours. Nobody's perfect, but sometimes people just don't hold back. It looks like that even Jesus wants to roll his eyes. So next time someone on the internet decides to take your grammar too seriously, just send them this Snapchat. His hands and the look on his face really do look like he's had enough of just about everything. We really want to know what made him look so annoyed, because the look on his face is definitely not a happy one. Maybe it really was the fact he got corrected on his grammar. Bored. The longer you look at people in portraits, the more things you'll start to notice in the background. But sometimes their look says it all, and a lot of times they are completely bored. We're not sure if this is really what was happening in this picture, but the looks of both ladies make it seem like they're really having the worst time of their lives. The caption says, "Literally, this is so boring," and it's definitely relatable, especially if you've been forced to visit an art museum and didn't enjoy it at all. It looks like some of these paintings share your feelings. Do you enjoy art? Let us know in the comments. Cant Touch Me. All of these art paintings really make us wonder if that's actually what people looked like at the time. Check out this guy. He has a lot of muscles, doesn't he? But the way his body is twisted and the position of his arm really made it seem like he's walking down the catwalk, saying nobody can touch him because he's fabulous. We bet his walk is pretty sassy, too. And it seems like the woman next to him knows this as well. Let us know if you're familiar with any of these art pieces and what you think these people are thinking. Mean Girls reference. If you're not a fan of the movie, you might not get this, but we promise that it's still hilarious. Mean Girls references in art history are our favorites, but this one probably wins them all. Raise your hand if you know who said this quote and what happened in the movie at the time. It looks like it definitely fits this statue, because it's true. His hair does look good when it's pushed back. Doesn't he look handsome? Get in, loser. We're going to an art museum and see how many Mean Girls references we can come up with. We bet we'd be able to find quite a few "you can't sit with us" and "she doesn't even go here" moments. RealLife Crossover. You won't believe this next caption. It's definitely one of our favorites yet, because the situation makes it that much more perfect. It seems like this museum art made a crossover with real life. Check it out. Doesn't it look like these two are actually talking about the woman sleeping on the chair? Jesus is definitely asking what is going on here. Whether this was an accidental shot or something that was set up, it's absolutely hilarious. Just look at how the woman in the painting is looking at the sleeping lady. It seems like she's holding a grudge, doesn't she? Jesus doesn't seem impressed that the lady's sleeping on the job, does he? Tuesday. Don't people in the paintings look absolutely bored half of the time? Find any historical painting and see what they look like. We guarantee most of them have an exhausted look on their face, and it's not just their face. Sometimes the whole figure looks like it's having the worst time ever, and we'd love to see it all end. It definitely looks like this lady just realized that it's only Tuesday, and she has a long way to go before she can enjoy the weekend. We'd love to know what made her feel so tired in real life, and surely leaning on her hand that way can't be that comfortable. Friday really can't arrive faster, can it? Selfie. Snapchat taught us that some people are just incredibly creative and can come up with some of the funniest captions ever. We really wonder how bored the person who took this caption was when they were in a museum. Check it out. It really looks like the statue is actually taking a selfie. Speaking of, these people requested multiple statues of themselves with altered versions to show off their best qualities. We're pretty sure that's still not as bad as people who are criticizing the selfie generation. If historians had access to taking selfies, we're sure they would have not hesitated to take them on a daily basis and then turn it into a gold statue. The Bachelorette. Oh look, it's the portrait of The Bachelorette Season 1 cast. You have to admit that watching the lives of historians would be an amazing reality show. Who's getting with who has more money, who's starting another fight for whatever reason. Doesn't it all remind you of The Bachelorette? We're pretty sure you'd be able to find the same historical cast, and from the looks of it, this family would really fit in the show. Think about all the drama we could watch. Thumbs up to the person who thought of this hilarious caption for this family portrait. Resting man face. We've all heard of the RBF, a term that describes women's faces which seem just a bit bit too serious at all times? We can imagine you can find a lot of those when you walk through an art museum and look at the portrait, but this Snapchat caption took it to a new level. Meet the RMF. We have many more questions about this photo. Why does he look so sad? Why is he wearing a dress? What happened immediately after the photo? He looks totally overtaking that portrait. See, it's not only women who have the RBF. We bet over half of the male portraits have it too. Hello, ladies. While most art portraits come across as serious and very mysterious, there are a few that seem to have more fun than others. We've already shown you some of the most fabulous captions we have ever seen, but this sassy man wins them all. He looks way too smug for his own good, but you have to admit that it's absolutely hilarious. It really does look like he's saying hello to all the ladies out there and being super flirty. The way he's posing is completely hilarious. That is, until you see what this man is actually standing on. Is that a dog's head on the left? Suddenly, he's really not that attractive. Reflection. If there's one thing we've learned today, it's that people on Snapchat are incredibly creative. Either that or they just get easily bored in a museum. Remember Mulan and the song Reflection? Someone decided to take advantage of statues in a glass box and presented this hilarious Snapchat caption. Doesn't it totally look like he's singing the Reflection song in his head? We love the two-part Snapchat caption to complete the joke too. His expression in the reflection is pretty funny. It's one of our favorites and absolutely creative. We're telling you, people on Snapchat are absolutely hilarious. But Mom, it's statues like these that make a museum visit more entertaining because they're completely over the top. Have you ever wondered why would someone decide to portray that exact facial expression? We have no idea what happened here, but it does make it seem like the person is super whiny and doesn't like the orders his mom gave him, doesn't it? Marble heads are hilarious, and we bet you can find even more expressions like this one. What do you think this guy was really doing to have this facial expression? Let us know in the comments below. Objecting to his mother seems very fitting. Going downstairs. One of the best things ever is seeing hilarious Snapchat captions on iconic paintings, like The Last Supper. But this one also made us laugh out loud. If you're familiar with this painting, you know this is not really the case, but it really does look like he's trying to pull the stairs trick. We bet you can find even funnier captions if you look at other details on this painting. What's Mary Magdalene doing in the first place? Look at Jesus' face. He definitely doesn't look impressed by what's happening in the painting. Speaking of, none of their faces look particularly amused with the going downstairs trick. Sorry. Better luck next time. New Year. We told you, people in historical paintings just constantly look miserable. And it doesn't matter whether they're a man or a woman. You can put them in just about any relatable situation, and it'll be the most hilarious thing ever. Like this Snapchat caption that reminds you that being single with New Year's fast approaching isn't always the best thing ever. Just check out her facial expression. The woman's face really is confirming that being single on New Year's can be pretty miserable. She's really not having a good time with the drink in front of her, is she? Wi-Fi password. Now this one is just absolutely hilarious and completely relatable to every technology geek who's always hunting for the Wi-Fi password. Imagine historical people living in the modern world. We're pretty sure they'd go through the same troubles as we do on a regular basis, whether it's Jesus or the Three Kings. Some of their poses really look like they're begging for a Wi-Fi password. How many times have you done exactly the same and wanted to know the Wi-Fi password? Historical people can't relate, but we bet they could if they lived in the world of Wi-Fi. Reception. Speaking of historians living in the modern world, apart from begging for the Wi-Fi password, they probably also look for reception. The poses these statues make sometimes look completely ridiculous, and we bet you can find quite a few statues that would actually look like they're trying to get some signal for their phone, especially if they're located in a place that doesn't really have any signal. Whoever created this caption definitely knows what it feels like to look for the Wi-Fi signal, or perhaps they're just trying to find the best selfie angle, since the lighting behind the statue would be perfect. Don't hate me. We've already mentioned some historian portraits are absolutely fabulous, and they really know how to rock the royal style. They look like they're having tons of confidence, sass, and a lot of attitude. They come with highlighted features and some of the most amazing outfits we have ever seen. Their poses are always over the top, and just like this gentleman, it seems like they do actually say, "Don't hate me because you ain't me." Check out his hair and his over-the-top fabulous outfit. They are making quite the statement. It really feels like some of these people think they have it all, and they're definitely pretty confident. Michael Jackson. Here's a hilarious one that will make you have Michael Jackson lyrics stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Doesn't it look like this person really is performing Michael Jackson's Thriller? The position of the hands is just absolutely perfect, and it looks like the legs are also ready to go. Now we really want to see the rest of the choreography, possibly joined by some of the other portraits. Historians performing the Thriller choreography would be the best thing ever, because this is Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. Come on, Snapchat, let's make it happen. Not eating. And last but not least, some people are able to turn the oddest museum situations into something totally relatable, and most importantly, something that can make everyone else laugh. Who would have thought that looking at a dinosaur could make someone think of the time they haven't eaten in forever? It's exactly what it actually feels like. We bet that person hasn't actually eaten in 3 hours since entering the museum. We know exactly what that feels like. Have you ever felt like an extinct dinosaur after not eating anything for 3 hours? This Snapchat caption can definitely relate, and all we have to say is, thank you Snapchat for making art fun again. That's it for 20 Snapchat captions that make art fun again. For more videos like this one, check out 20 epic pet costume ideas for Halloween. See you next time.